greatest in the world of sports. This is Chalk Them Up.
Theo Epstein could be coming to the Cubs. Tell me, please call in. Please tell me why he would want to come here. And Matt, maybe you can help answer this for me.
Money.
He has money. He's got tons of money.
I think
Pride.
That, and I think people are just inherently competitive. That is the ultimate competition. Taking a franchise that hasn't won in over 100 years, turning it around and winning a championship there. There's nothing you can do more for yourself as a general manager in baseball than that.
But if you're competitive, shouldn't a collapse like this September atrocity that happened in Boston, shouldn't that motivate you instead of running away from it?
Well, maybe he might think that he's done everything he could there. That he's accomplished what he set out to do. He won 2 championships. This looked like a good time where he could kind of get out of there.
And now he can start from scratch.
He can start from scratch, but it makes sense. This was his out.
But don't the Red Sox have tons more pieces than the Cubs do right now?
I mean, that's why it would be starting from scratch.
That's
pride.
Why would you want to start from scratch?
Because hey, I took this team from the dumps to a championship.
Yeah, people love that struggle.
The Red Sox weren't in the dumps.
He's talking about
I'm talking about the Cubs. If he went to the Cubs, it'd be from the dumps to a championship.
It's the struggle that people love to see somebody go through. There's nothing more self-rewarding than that. No doubt.
Wow, he's really good because he did that.
516-425-3687. Does Theo Epstein want to go to the Cubs for pride? Or can he just stay in Boston and sit pretty? He's got a pretty nice job right now. He's got money. He's got an owner who likes him. He just fired the manager, so he's going to pick a new guy to go in a direction with. They were just in the hunt for a playoff berth. They blew it, but I mean they have the pieces.
They did not just blow it.
They have the pieces to be a good team there.
Epic, monumental fail.
You have the potential AL MVP on your team.
2 of them.
You got a pretty darn good pitching staff.
Who let them down the entire month of September.
Well, I mean, John Lackey is.
That whole rotation had issues, but I don't get the move still. I don't understand the rumor of Theo Epstein wanting to leave, but even more so, I don't understand the firing of Terry Francona so quickly. Give me a good reason why they would do that so quickly. Are they trying to help Terry Francona out? So they're trying to start early, but
yeah. That's the only thing I can really think.
But I don't think you're looking to start early on a franchise like that has so many pieces already in place.
Unless you have a name already there. The fandom, they see this epic collapse, and then they think something needs to happen, so they say this is what's going to happen.
So you're telling me that the thing that happens last and it's worst, obviously it's going to linger longer, but what you realize is the other 85-90% was pretty darn good. And that's what people are ignoring, and that's the problem I have with this idea of letting personnel and management make a decision on a whim. But they did not step back and think about. They didn't. This happened so fast.
They still aren't in the playoffs.
But this happened so fast.
The way it was, the story broke. Francona didn't want to be there either. It wasn't just they met and Francona said, "I'm out." There was a option from the club, and there was Francona saying he doesn't want to come back to Boston. Well, and the way it went down, the way the wording actually came out is Francona left. They parted ways.
So what do you guys think would have happened if, let's say, they get in, they sneak in, and they get first round exit? You think Francona's still parting ways?
Depending on how the series went,
yeah,
maybe.
Because, I mean, you still have the
I know it's an extreme
collapse.
hypothetical. I'm just saying, though.
You had the enormous collapse. So if they get into that last game, they still had a miserable September. And then it depends how you lose in that first series. If you go out and you get swept, it's possible just because of how bad that last month really was. He's gone. If it goes to 5 games, I still say probably. I mean, you have to think that.
What do you think was
isn't knee-jerk?
What was the overarching reason for him? You think it was just
I think there's
conflict
something we don't
of interest
know.
between him and Epstein?
Yeah, I think
because the way I look at it now.
What if it's not Epstein?
If it isn't, this is what I'm going to get at. If it's not, then Ricketts has to take the package. Just take it.
Yeah.
Just take what's in Boston and bring it to Chicago. Take Theo Epstein, have him be the general manager of the Cubs, and have Terry Francona be the manager of the Chicago Cubs. Because if you can find out that the issue is not between the two of them, there is absolutely no reason why you should not try and have them be the mainframe of the restart of the Chicago Cubs.
They work. It's been proven they work.
Yes.
So if it was epstein that maybe made this move, then absolutely. What you brought up to me before the show, which I actually found very interesting, was if it is that Epstein and Francona could no longer work together, and Francona goes to the White Sox and Epstein goes to the Cubs, you get this heated rivalry.
Yeah,
That's suddenly
the Francona to the White Sox is a legitimate rumor too from a source. It's not that we're just kind of throwing this out of here. That has been written online, I think, by the Sporting News, I believe.
Both are from sources.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I was just saying we're not saying just a hypo with the White Sox either. But yeah, you want to? I mean, and if they aren't working out, that's what makes it so much more fun. If Epstein were to come to the north side and Francona were to come to the south side.
I don't know if that's more fun. I
think it is.
As a Cubs fan, I would love to have both of them.
Of course, but if they can't work, I'd rather have him play for the south side. I think it just adds to the storyline.
News breaking today that Epstein might be, or actually is, very interested in the Cubs position. Now, I saw Moneyball. I loved it. Billy Beane, he's a dude. I love him. Love his style. Epstein actually adopted part of his style and implemented it with money, which would seem to be the perfect fit in Chicago, where you throw money at players who probably didn't deserve it in the close past. I mean, you have Soriano.
Ugh.
I mean, he's the obvious one.
How many more years is on that contract?
Zambrano. I think it's like 4, 3. And then it's just a miserable investment. So if you get someone who can make smart investments and know how to use money, that's pretty much perfect for this organization.